Hello everyone and welcome back. Oh my god, it's so brilliant to just be sitting in front of a camera again. Oh my god, amazing. So I'm in Havana, Cuba. I'm on the roof of my hostel. There is a bit of music in the background. There is a bit of wind, but what do you expect? I'm in the middle of Havana. So anyway, this video is the first video I've done in a long time from my Digital Nomad Diaries series. If you're a new viewer, you might be about to say, David, what the hell are you talking about? And you would probably have a valid point, because I haven't done one of these since about February. It's basically where I sit down and talk about a specific issue relating to what my channel is fundamentally about, which is my experience of being a digital nomad and earning money in order to prolong my long-term, solo, budget travel. Emphasis on the word budget. I'll just bit my lip. Emphasis on the word budget, because that term is going to come up a little bit more in this video. Now, the topic of this video is all about the sacrifices you make as a digital nomad, and I'm going to split it up into four things, and this is very much related to a lot of stuff that's happened recently. It's quite relevant at the moment, specifically in terms of a lot of comments I've had. So the first point I want to talk about is luxury and luxury accommodation. You'll notice I'm in a hostel right now, and the way I'm going to describe this is by talking about Mexican viewers and Mexican subscribers. So hello everyone. Oh, I don't know what happened over there. So I've said this before, that out of all the countries I've been to on this channel over the last 19 months now, it's almost 600 days, about 25 countries, the Mexican viewers were by far the most engaged, involved, interested, supportive, all of those positive words. Fantastic, and I could not be more grateful, because I didn't expect it, to be honest, and it's been fantastic, and it's been great meeting you all and learning a bit more about Mexico, especially through your recommendations. So if it wasn't for you, I would never have become obsessed with sabutes and panuchos. What is going on? It's like Sunday, there's a massive party going on. However, there will always be this case, in that it will always happen, whatever country I go to, there will be a select few that will be inappropriately negative, inappropriately abusive about ridiculous, silly points. And one of those is about the fact that I don't stay in hotels every night. And I've got to try and remain calm when explaining this, because one of the huge sacrifices you do make as a digital nomad, someone that's working online when you travel, is the fact that you can't afford to stay in hotels every night. Okay, so I've been doing this for almost 2 years. As I said, 600 days is very close. I think it's about 590 now. And I actually worked this out, just to put it into perspective. I'll put it down there. So basically, if I'd stayed in a hotel every night since the beginning of what I'm doing, November 2016, at an average cost of 70 British pounds a night, it would have cost me £42,000 on accommodation alone. And if I split that up into months, it's 2,100 roughly per month. 2,000 British pounds. My income every month is just over £1,000 a month. Do you see now one of the reasons why I can't stay in hotels every night? Okay, and if you want to know more about where I earn money from and my income, I'm going to link a video up the top. I did it about 6 months ago, so it is a bit out of date, but it's roughly pretty much right. Oh, there's a bit of fluff flying towards me. It's a feather. It's gone. So that's one reason I choose to stay in slightly low budget Airbnbs and hostels, which I'm in now. And actually, I'm really surprised with the Airbnb situation, because if you look at the ones I stayed in Mexico City, particularly the one in Puebla, I loved it. It was fantastic. I would say there again. The one in Oaxaca, yeah, it wasn't great, but the thing about that is the reason I stayed there was because it was about staying with a Mexican family and experiencing Mexican local life. You know, if you stay in a hotel, you don't get that. Additionally, you're by yourself in a hotel. I'm traveling by myself. I'm working by myself. I'm not with my family. I'm not with my children. I don't have any children. But you know, if I stayed in a hotel every night, I would be completely insane by now, because I need people to speak to, and that's one of the things about long-term travel. So that's the first sacrifice. You know, I want to make people understand that I'm not on holiday. I didn't just leave the UK a couple of weeks ago for a quick trip across Mexico. If I did, then absolutely I would probably stay in hotels, but that's not the case. So I'm in a hostel right now in Cuba, purely because I know that there's a Wi-Fi problem here, so I can't teach English. So why not save a bit of money and stay in a hostel and actually meet some people? Awesome. The next point is about things to do, and this is an extremely relevant one, because I actually had a conversation about this with someone on a Digital Nomad Facebook group recently. You know, again, a lot of people say to me, oh, you went to this place, but you didn't do this activity, you didn't do that. And largely it's because I haven't got the money to do those things. If you go back in time to, you know, earlier in my channel, those of you that have been watching since then, you'll know that when I was in Singapore, I spent $250 to drive a Lamborghini around Singapore for 15 minutes. I also did Tokyo Mario Kart in Japan, not once, but twice. You know, those were the days when I was just traveling, I wasn't working, and, you know, I could actually afford to do those things. And, you know, I'll give you an example. Isla Holbox, yeah, one of the key things to do there for tourists is swimming with whale sharks. But it cost 2,500 pesos, which is over $100 US. And the thing that, again, that I want to try to help people understand is that when I think of the cost of something, like an activity or an excursion or a thing to do, I don't think of it in terms of money. I think of it in how much work I'm going to have to do in order to afford that. So over $100 US, that's roughly about 7 English lessons. 7 hours worth of work, or it's about a week and a half's accommodation. You know, so can I justify spending that amount of money on those sorts of things? No, I can't. And again, the difference is with a holiday and what I'm doing. If you go on holiday, then absolutely you're going to do all those things because that's what you're there for. But ultimately, I go to some places not for the travel aspect, not for the tourist aspect. So Oaxaca, for example, the only reason I was there was to get a flight to Merida. Okay, I didn't go there for any reason other than that. I was there for a weekend, I did about 25 English lessons, and I flew out of there. The same with Cancun. You know, after traveling across Mexico for weeks and weeks, I didn't want to do anything in Cancun, quite simply, and because I knew I was coming to Cuba, and I knew I wouldn't be able to earn any money here because of the Wi-Fi, I literally taught my arse off for those 5 days to make some money. So you might think, you know, oh David, you're missing out by not doing these things, and yeah, maybe I am, but the thing is with long-term travel is that I've been snorkeling a million times. I've seen sharks in aquariums. You know, I'm blind. You know, when I go under the sea, I can't see anything. So, you know, would it be worth it anyway? Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a fantastic experience, but ultimately that's not what I'm doing this for. The third thing, oh, what's the third thing? The third thing is, that was one. The third thing is about transport and getting around. So again, there are a lot of comments, why am I not getting a first class bus? Why am I not getting an express boat? Why am I not flying first class? And the word first, I'm going to point out. So my channel name is First World Traveller. There seems to be a huge amount of misunderstanding about what that channel name is about. I'm not going to explain it now because I've done that in another video, which I'm going to link up above. Hopefully if you watch that, you might have a clearer idea about what this channel is about. But in terms of getting around, you know, again, it's very similar to things to do. I'm not going to spend a ridiculous amount of money on a first class bus when I could do the same journey for a fraction of the price. Yeah, it might be slightly frustrating, and yeah, it might take longer, it might stop off at every 5 seconds. But that's travel life. You know, any long-term traveller or budget traveller, again, will know that, you know, and I'm going to put a meme on the screen actually. I put this in another video ages ago. It's a picture of a plane and a bus basically, and it says $50 flight for 2 hours, or fuck, bollocks. So it's got a plane and a bus, and it basically says that backpackers be like, you know, you will get a 2-hour flight for $50, or you will get a 50-hour bus, sorry, for $2, and that's what it's like. And I'm very much a budget traveller at heart. I always have been since I was 19 years old, way back in 2001, staying in hostels in Thailand and Australia and New Zealand. So, you know, fundamentally that's what I'm about. Yeah, so I'm not going to waste money, unnecessary money, on transport options which are just not viable in terms of my budget, okay? And the last point, number 4, is completely unrelated to everything. It's one that I've talked about before in terms of friendships and relationships. One of the biggest sacrifices for me is that I can't make friends with people. I can't have a love life. I can't have a casual sex relationship. I'm being honest. I'm going to bleep out the word sex because this video will get demonetized straight away. You know, it's very difficult, and that's one of the things I guess I'm struggling with at the moment. I've always struggled with it in terms of you get quite lonely sometimes, and it's one thing that if you are not a very much an independent person, that it's very difficult to do what I'm doing. But it comes in time. I'm very much used to it. I'm used to meeting people, and you know, you might have a thing with them for a bit, then you move, or they move. Shush! Yeah, so that's a huge sacrifice for me. But there's a big but. So you may have seen before, I've talked about this, in that I'm looking for a long-term base. So once I leave Colombia, I'm looking at potentially going back to Europe, to Germany, because I can speak German, kind of. But I'm looking to improve my German while I'm there and staying there for a long time, and it means I can then use that place in Germany as a base to explore Europe in terms of YouTube. So in general, I know this has been a bit of a rant, but it really highlights the fact that I'm not on holiday, I'm not a tourist. In some ways, I'm not even a traveller anymore. I'm a digital nomad. My key focus is earning money to survive day by day, week by week, month by month. Sometimes I go to places and it's not about travel. Colombia, when I go there, it's not about travel. It's about 5 weeks there, I can earn a load of money in order to fund further travels in future. So thanks for watching. I hope this has cleared things up. And there's a few videos coming from Cuba, coming soon. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.